All right, so go ahead and grab that red band and we're gonna get started straight away. Come on down onto your seat. We're gonna send our legs long in front of us and let's hold the band in our hands to start with today. We wanna find resistance on there, so you can do that with a scarf as well. All we're trying to do is kind of activate the middle back and have an outbound intention on the band or the scarf. Sitting nice and tall, we're gonna lean with a flat back, then we're gonna melt the tailbone under us, melt the middle, and melt the upper. Hold. So we're gonna be in a shallow hold here. We're thinking about broadening the collarbones. Try not to lock out the elbows. We're doing a nice long hold here for 5, 4, find more length and lift through the front body. Last 2, and with control, we're gonna unwind and come all the way up. Let's go for that again, kind of isometrically warming up the body. We're gonna lengthen and lean. We're gonna slide the tailbone under us, slide the low back, slide the middle back, and hold. Find that opening across the collarbones, find that activation through the middle back for 3, for 2, and return, unwinding all the way up. We wanna sit as tall as we can on our sitting bones. Then we're gonna lengthen back, melt the tailbone under you, melt the low back, melt the middle back, hold and breathe. Collarbones are broad. Think about lengthening and reaching the whole time for 3, for 2, and slowly rise all the way back up to start. All right, we're gonna stay down here. Come onto your hands and knees with your band if you have it. Coming onto our hands and knees, we're gonna mimic a 3-point kneeling jump that we would do on our jump board. So we're gonna loop that band around the arch of our right foot, and then both stretches of the band go into your right hand only. So you can do this absolutely without a prop at all. This just provides additional resistance. All right, knees are 4 inches apart parallel, collarbones are wide. From here, we're gonna hover just the knee and the toes off of the mat. So you should feel the leg really absorb into the abdomen as you're holding. Keep the pelvis quiet. Now on the inhale, we're gonna recruit the hamstrings to work with the psoas to extend the leg long. That's an inhale. And then we're gonna exhale as we bring it in, flex the foot. On the inhale, we're gonna open the front side of the ankle a little bit. It might not go all the way open because we don't wanna lose that band. Exhale as you crease at the hip and at the front side of the ankle. Inhale, really think about the hamstrings working with the deep abdominals to send that leg long. Exhale as you bring it back into start. So as the knee comes in, I'm just hovering, kind of grazing the mat with the kneecap and the toes. So they're kind of touching, but we don't want them resting down at that middle point. We want the middle back active, collarbones are wide, and the core is really active, keeping the pelvis stable. Let's go for one more here. We're gonna hold this next one out. Hold and breathe. So now we're gonna do similar to what we would do in class again. We would do a straight leg jump here, and we're just gonna send the leg out to the side. So I'm maybe to the edge of the mat, and then bring it back in. Make sure you're not locked into the back side of that right knee. Keep working. We don't wanna lock into the back side of that right knee and kind of dump into that joint. We wanna find some breath there, and you'll feel that leg start to shake. I can feel it in my own body, and you'll feel the abdominals holding that leg out over space. So we're moving the femur head in, and that's what's sending the foot out. So don't intention from the foot. Think about the femur head tipping in for 4. Find softness in the backside of that right knee. This is 3, lifting off of the wrist, softening the elbows. This is 2. Here we go, guys. This is the last one with control. Bring it parallel, and then we're gonna glide that leg back to start. All right, let's come down onto our left side. Keep that band around the arch of the right foot. So we're gonna come all the way down. We're gonna lay on our left biceps. So we're gonna have our left arm extended and our ear is on our biceps. Let's bring both legs into a tabletop position. So the knees are bent about 90 degrees. We're gonna find resistance on that band. You might want to kind of loop up on it a little bit. Not required, it's totally up to you. We're gonna float the top leg up. So you don't need a band to find this activation, it just helps to find it. From here, we're going to find a brick wall under the sole of the right foot. Straight away, you should find some shaking. My knee, my hip, and ankle are at the same height. I'm finding that intention of a brick wall under the right foot. And then I'm gonna send my foot through the brick wall on an inhale and then the leg extends all the way long. And then we're gonna exhale, resist as we bring it in. So we're not just allowing it to flop in. Hold. Now we're gonna go into external rotation. Inhale again through the brick wall, but our leg is in external rotation now. Exhale as we bring it in. Stack the legs one on top of the other. Inhale, parallel. Send the leg through the brick wall and all the way out. Exhale as you bring it in. The pelvis does not go to external. It's just the femur bone and the leg rotating to external rotation for this next one. Inhale as you bring it long. Exhale as you bring it in. We're returning to parallel. Inhale as we go right through that brick wall. Lengthen, lengthen, and reach all the way out. You're gonna make sure the front side of that hip gets open. Exhale as we soften it in. Inhale, let's go into that external rotation, really reach, 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 holding here. Now the arm is gonna move with it. We're gonna go into a big leg circle. So that band just assists, similar to how the foot in the strap would assist on the machine. I don't want you to be tugging on that red band or your scarf so much that it's taking the work away from the abdominal connection to holding that leg in space. So we're circling around. I'm in external rotation at the top. I swivel down to parallel at the bottom. Lengthen the leg out. See if you can give yourself a little less support with your band or your scarf. So it's still there to help guide you, but we don't want it to be doing the work for us. We're really opening up and lubricating the hips. I know some of you watching today have mentioned tight hips to me, so let's really think about opening up as we work, keeping the bottom ribs lifted off the floor. Let's go into this last one. We're gonna hold the leg at about 45-degree angle. So my foot is out over the floor, pelvis is level, and now we're gonna swivel internal so the inner thigh went back behind me. You can see it nicely with these pants. And then we're gonna think about the femur head tipping in again and bring it down. It's a small lift. This is going to really help focus through the glute med, and that strengthens and conditions the hips. So it looks great too. It lifts our booty, but it actually strengthens and conditions the hips as we work. Last 4, think about the bottom ribs lifting off of the mat. Last 3. This is 2. Last 1. And soften the knee, bring it all the way in. All right, let's come onto our seat again, and we're gonna have our legs in front of us. Let's keep that band just on the right foot. So we're gonna come onto our seat here. I'm in first position with my feet, heels touching, toes turned out. I'm going to have the red band in both hands here, so I have one stretch in each hand. Lengthen and lean back. Open the arms, kind of like bird wings, how we would do for a reverse tree hugger, yeah? Long spine, melt the tailbone under you, melt the low back, melt the middle back, melt the upper back, and come all the way down. Then we're gonna inhale as we lengthen and reach, thinking about articulating all the way back up. All right, this time we're gonna add a rotation. So at the top with our flat back, we're gonna rotate to the right, and then we're gonna lengthen with a flat back, glide the tailbone under you, glide the low back, middle back, upper back, and all the way down. Lengthen on an inhale as we reach, curling up, keeping the arms nice and broad. Good. Lengthen back, keep working. I want you to think about rolling down on the right side of the spine. So you're still elongating as you travel down, bound towards the mat. We're still finding that length. And as we come back up, we're coming up along the right side of the spine. So it's not centered anymore. Now we're doing this really waistline focused assessment. All right, let's hold the next one halfway down or halfway up. So we have a nice curl to the spine, but we are holding ourselves out over free space. Okay, here we go. We're gonna use that right inner thigh, talking to the left waistline to float the leg up a few inches and bring it back down. Right inner thigh, left waistline. Find that diagonal connection in your body. Keep working. It's literally, guys, the fibers of the upper inner thighs innervating across the pelvic floor and going into the waistline. So this diagonal connection is in your body and helps to stabilize the pelvis as we move. Let's go for 3 more. Find that length, find that reach. Collarbones are wide, front of the spine is long. Try not to hang into the pelvis. Let's hold the last one up. We have the rotation of the ribs, the rotation of the femur head. Lengthen as we hold and breathe for 5. Give a little less support with your band or your scarf. Last two, and with control, we're gonna unwind the ribs, float the leg down, and come all the way up. All right, keep your band with you guys. We're gonna come into a little side squat hold with the band in our hands. This is where you can grab dumbbells if you don't have a resistance band, or if you're using a scarf, find something a little bit more heavy so we can find a nice challenge for the body. So I'm in a wide turned out position, very wide in fact, and I'm gonna do a little side squat. So I'm going to have my torso tipped forward a little bit, my left leg is bent a lot, and my right leg is long. Now from here, so you can kind of picture how you might be on the machine if your left foot were on the platform, okay? From here, we're going to keep the hands facing forward. I have good resistance on the band, but I need it to be flexible, because what we're gonna do is inhale, bring the right hand up, exhale, bring it down. You wanna find that resistance. Find a good resistance for your body. So you might need to choke up on it, or you might need to give a little less resistance. Do what works for you. I'm gonna soft bow forward, keep working. I'm gonna show you from the profile what it looks like for my little lean forward. So it's a soft lean forward. I'm holding the left shoulder blade melting down around the ribs. And in order to send the right arm up, the right shoulder blade needs to melt down. So it's not just about pow, 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 punching in the air. The right shoulder blade operates like a pulley system as it melts down and we extend the arm up. Right shoulder blade melts down to extend the arm up. Let's go for two more like that, guys. So really find that little lean forward, center out the body. I was starting to kick over to the left. Let's hold that right arm up. Let's peel our left heel off of the floor if that's accessible to you. Make sure we're not hanging out in that left hip. Lift out of that left hip. Both hands come up and overhead. And now we are going to inhale, side bend with our right ribs opening. Exhale, base of the ribs returns it to center. Inhale, fanning open the right ribs. Exhale, bring it back to center. Watch that left knee. As you side bend, it's gonna wanna kick out over your pinky toe. You wanna keep it aligned, big toe, second toe, to find that inner thigh connection to the right waistline and vice versa. So it's like a little X going across your body. All right, here we go. Last two. This is gonna be our last one. Inhale as you arc. Exhale as we return, hold here. Left heel goes down. Now we have two flat feet. I'm gonna ask you to straighten both legs. Exhale, soften both knees. Bring that band in front of your chest, below your shoulders. It shouldn't be blocking your face. Bring it below your shoulders. We're now in a deep plie. Torso is upright. We're gonna inhale as we rotate to the left. Exhale through center. There should be good resistance on that band. Inhale, rotate through the right. Exhale through center. Check in on those knees. Mine were tipping inbound. Make sure you're thinking about the inner thighs spiraling up and out so that you can find that inner thigh connection and really stabilize the knee. It's irrelevant how low you go here, so do what works for your body. Keep all four corners of your feet imprinting into the floor. Inhale, adding space between the vertebrae as you rotate. Exhale, base of the ribs returns you to start. Inhale as you open. Last time, we're gonna rotate to the left. Inhale as you open. Can you get a little bit lower in your plie? Challenge yourself. Exhale through center. Inhale to the right. Exhale through center. Hold. We're gonna bring the arms up and overhead because both shoulder blades melted down. Make sure that when we did that, we didn't arch our upper back. So we wanna keep it nice and controlled and organized. Soften the elbows a little tiny bit. We're gonna peel both heels up at the same time. Hold and breathe for 6, for 5, for 4, melting the heart down towards the tailbone. Last 2, with control, gang. We're gonna melt the heels down. 2 straight legs, arms come down, don't go anywhere. We're gonna go into that little side squat, other side. We're gonna go ahead and take that band up, palms face forward. I'm gonna choke up a little bit here. Left leg is long, right knee is bent a lot, torso is centered and slightly tipped forward. Here we go. Inhale, left shoulder blade melts down to send the band up. Exhale as we bring it back to start. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale as we bring it back down. So keep working, you guys. Make sure we've got that little bow forward. So we want to have a little bow forward in the body, and the left shoulder blade melts down and around the rib basket. That is why the left arm extends up. Inhaling as you do so. Exhale, bring it back down. Let's go for 4 here. Making sure, keep working, that we find the ribs and the pelvis stacked. We don't want to crack that little alignment. We want to keep things stacked here. Let's go for 1 more. Arm comes down with control, 2 straight legs, and rise all the way up. Okay, keep that band with you, and we're gonna go into our floor sequence next. So go ahead and sit down on the floor. We're gonna go into that roll down experience. So we're gonna take the band or your scarf around the left foot, and if you don't have one, you just don't have the support and the resistance of the band or the scarf. Heels are glued together. 1 stretch of the band is in each hand, arms are open, lengthening back. Melt the tailbone under you. We're gonna do it centered first just to orient ourselves. Melt through the low back, middle back, upper back, head goes down. Think about that beach towel lengthening from underneath you through the wall behind you. That's what picked your head up. Exhaling as we return all the way up. On this next one, we're gonna lean with a flat back. Rotate the ribs to the left, the arms rotated as well. We're gonna melt the tailbone, melt the low back, melt the middle back, heels stay glued together. That's pretty tricky here when one of them has a band and the other doesn't. Lengthening as we glide up all the way to the top. Keep working, guys. As we're lengthening down, you want to find lots of length on the front body rather than crowding and curling. Keep working at your own pace. And instead of thinking about bone, 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 bone being set down in our spine, can you set down space, 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 space? Really use that breath to help elongate your body. It's gonna get you deeper results into the core and really condition your core to stabilize the spine and improve your overall health, all right? So find that length as you lower down. Even find that length like a hammock being picked up as you lift and come back up to a seated position. All right, let's go into the next one, holding it about halfway down. Hold it about halfway down in your body. We're in a rotated position. Make sure that the arms both have resistance on your band or your scarf. Here we go. Left inner thigh tucks to the right waistline to pick it up and set it back down. Left inner thigh, right waistline, and set it back down. Left inner thigh, crossing through the pelvic floor off to the right waistline. Can you find a little less support in that band and a tiny bend in your left leg to really absorb the weight of the leg into the abdominals? Last 2, we're gonna lay on our right side after this next one. Bring the leg down. You can keep the band or you can re-put it on your foot. I'm just gonna keep mine and flip it over onto the right side. So lay all the way down on your right side. Your right ear goes on your right biceps. Both legs are gonna bend to a 90-degree bend. Flex your feet. Straight away, guys, make sure the ribs aren't mashing down into the floor. They might touch, that's totally fine, but we don't wanna have them mashing into the floor. Knee, ankle, and outer hip are all on the same plane. Find that brick wall. So we're gonna really access the brick wall under the sole of that left foot. And then we're gonna think about melting through the brick wall, melting on an inhale to lengthen and reach. That was parallel. Exhale as you slowly absorb it back in. Think about that femur bone sinking deeply into the pelvis. And then we're gonna swivel into external rotation. Inhale through the brick wall. Exhale as we bring it all the way back in. We're going into parallel. So we're alternating parallel to external rotation. So we're accessing the effort through a lot of different angles. That's the best way to get results and condition the functionality of the body as well. We're gonna go into external rotation, but notice the hips don't follow. And bring it back in. Find the brick wall every time, guys. That's really gonna light up the back side of that leg and really connect you to the back line of the body. Keeping the knee aligned, big toe, second toe, even when we're on our side, is gonna help you stay connected to the inner thigh. It's a knee stabilizer, and it tones and conditions at the same time. Let's go ahead and go into a parallel. Inhale through that brick wall, really reaching long. Hold this time, hold and breathe. We're gonna come up in external rotation, big leg circles. And then we're gonna come sweeping around through parallel and bring it back. As we go up, we're going into external rotation. And then as we bring it forward, we're going into parallel. Now the temptation here is to make the leg go really far. I say big leg circles because I don't want it to be tiny, but I don't care how big they actually are. I care that your hips stay stacked and your pelvis stays as quiet as possible. It's really tough to do so. You're gonna find a lot better effort, functionality, and results through this situation if you can think about that femur head really swimming through the dome of the pelvis rather than everything rocking and rolling with it. The pelvis is stable. Hold this next one at about a 45-degree angle, holding here. We are going to rotate the thigh bone back, okay? So it's an internal rotation. The toes will dip down a little bit most likely. We're gonna lengthen that top hip away from the ribs, and now we're gonna do a little lift. Find that breath, find that reach, little lift for 4, for 3, for 2, last one, soften the knee and bring it all the way in. All right, let's keep that band on our left foot and we're gonna go into our 3-point kneeling kicks or jumps rather. So we're gonna have our left hand on the mat with the band. Knees are 4 inches apart, parallel. And from here, guys, what we're gonna do is send that left leg long behind us. We're gonna inhale as we extend, exhale as we bring it in. We're flexing the foot actively as we bring it in. Inhale as we extend, and the front side of the ankle opens a bit like it would in flight off the jump board. Exhale as we soften, thinking again about what we were just doing on our side. So that was conditioning the hip for what we were doing on our side, right? Now that femur head is invited deeply into the dome of the pelvis, and now the hamstrings are working with the abdominals to extend that leg long. That's an inhale to extend, and an exhale to absorb and bend. Let's go for 2 more like this, making sure we're not hanging out in our shoulders, making sure we're sending our heart between the shoulder blades, lifting off of the wrists and the elbows. Hold the left leg long behind you, making sure we have the navel drawn up and in the whole time and a long low back. Here we go. We're going to go into a little reach out to the side and bring it back in. The reach is happening to the side because the femur head, the top of the thigh bone, is tipping inbound. So the thigh bone tips in, and as a result, the lower leg sweeps out. Okay, so we're not moving from the foot. Find that intention and connection closer to the core. Last 3. This is 2. And this is our last 1. We're gonna bring both knees down onto the mat. All right, we've got that red band, so let's go into a little carousel horse. These are really fun. Okay, so we're gonna take that red band under the arch of the right foot, and then we are going to take one stretch of that band into either hand. From here, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to send the arms into a little bit of a bicep curl. I don't care how high your arms are. The higher your arms are, the more aggressive of a challenge you're gonna feel. I'm gonna hold mine a little bit lower here as I talk to you. So the right foot is flat on the floor. The left toes are gonna flip under. Right foot is flat, left toes flip under. Holding that bicep activation the whole time, that doesn't change. We are going to think about the upper inner thighs narrowing to pick us up, maybe 4 or 5 inches, and then we're going to gently lower back down. And go ahead and bring it up. The upper inner thighs are narrowing to pick it up, and bring it back down. Keep working, everybody. If you have sensitive knees, start from the top. You're gonna have the right foot with the red band still, left foot behind you, and you're gonna do something smaller from the top. If that's no good for your knees today, you wanna stay taller. So let's go for 4. Either way works for me. This is 2. We're gonna hold the last one with the knee very low, hold and breathe, bicep curl 4 times. 4, 3, really reach the right hip far away from the right knee. 2, last 1, with control, left knee comes down, and then the right knee comes down. All right, let's use that red band to help us find our best middle back connection for a plank. So we're gonna take the band as wide as we can, and it goes below the shoulder blades. So it goes across your back, below the shoulder blades. Now we're gonna take that band, one stretch into either hand. It's not about resistance here. It doesn't need to be really cutting into the backside of your body. It's about finding breath. So we're gonna keep our shins down and the tops of our feet down. Nod the chin, round the spine, and really feel that middle back connection. It's a shallow curl, guys. I don't want a deep cat curl here. It's just a lift from under the ribs, stretching the band. Let's exhale once, holding here. Your inhale is to send the red band wide, sending your breath to the backside of the ribs. Exhale again. Last time we're gonna inhale, holding. On the exhale, we're going to lift from under the ribs to hover the knees off the floor, just a few inches. Hold and breathe. Just keep sending that inhale into the back of the body, broadening the red band. You're holding your knees up the whole time. The idea is we don't want to feel a gripping or a bracing on the front side of the body. We want to feel an internal lift. You can set your knees down if you need a quick break. Reset. On your exhale, hover the knees again. See if you can find that deep lift rather than a surface level grip. So if you're having trouble finding it, you can touch the knees down and bring it back up. But the idea is to find the transverse abdominis, really a deep layer of our abdominals. And I like to think about that red band conversely being under the ribs to pick me up, almost like a little burlap sack or a hammock. Let's hold the knees up for 5, holding and breathing, finding that openness of the red band. Last 2, and set the knees all the way down. Go ahead and come on up. Let's take the other side for that carousel horse. Nice job, you guys. If it's getting sensitive on your knees, you can always double your mat over, and that helps to support your knee health as well. Okay, take that left foot over the red band. We're gonna start with our hips level, sternum is over pubic bone. This side, we're gonna do more of a row movement like this. So now my palms are facing back towards the wall behind me and the elbows are gonna go out. So just hold a nice resistance for yourself. Flip the right toes under. Here we go. We're going to inhale, upper inner thighs narrow. Exhale as we lower back down. So it's not a low lunge like sometimes we do, staying real close to the floor. It's about middle way between the two. If that's aggressive to your body on this side, you're gonna come up to the top and move from the top down rather than the bottom up. So it's entirely up to you and your body what feels great today. Inhale, upper inner thighs, narrow to lift. The whole time we're working, keep going guys, think about this left hip stretching away from the left knee. That's gonna level out the pelvis and really activate the backside of the leg. Let's hold the next one low, and here we go. We're gonna row 4 times, rowing 4. Here we go, guys, rowing 3. Collarbones are wide, reach that left hip long. This is 2. This is our last one. With control, we're gonna come all the way up. All right, let's go ahead and take that band behind our back again. A scarf works as well, it's the same idea. It's just giving us some feedback. We're gonna take it around our back, just like we had it. And now we're gonna cross it under our ribs like this. So it's right at the base of my ribs, crossed over once, okay? Now we're gonna lay down. This is gonna be our last exercise today, then we stretch. We have that crossed over here again to give us feedback about our breath. All right, we're gonna lay all the way down. Lengthen the arms, but we're not locking into the elbows. Think about a beach towel underneath your head, and we're gonna lengthen and lift. So we're in a shallow curl, lengthen and lift back. You have length on the front body, even though the tips of your shoulder blades have ideally picked up off the floor. All right, here we go. We're gonna invite the right leg into a tabletop position. Now we're gonna invite the left leg into tabletop position. We still have a neutral spine. Guys, can you still find length on your front body? And have you forgotten about that red band except for the arms? Think about sending your inhale into the backside of that red band. Really broadening the band the whole time. And now we're gonna go into single leg reaches with control. Think about the hamstrings working with the abs for the right leg to reach long. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, broaden that band as you extend. Exhale, narrow the ribs with the band to bring it in. Keep working at your own pace. So the idea of the band here, guys, the breath is gonna make it a heck of a lot more challenging and more effective in your body. So on the inhale, we're broadening the red band, and on the exhale, we're allowing it to draw the ribs closer to the spine. It's not just about arm resistance, it's about finding that connection to your breath. So we're gonna exhale to bring the leg back in, inhale to extend. Hamstrings are working with the abdominals to extend every time. Inner thighs working the abdominals to bring it in. Let's pick up the pace. We're gonna go right, in, left, in. Let's finish strong. Right, in, left, in. Last time, right, in, left, in. Both legs hold out if that's sensitive to your low back. Knees soften a bit for 5. Hold and breathe. Find the breath in the band. Find the band narrowing you on the exhale. With control, head goes down, knees come in, and feet lower to the floor. We're on the floor, we have a band, so let's do feet in straps today, all right, guys? Stay on the floor for me. We're going to bring the right foot only into the band. Right hand is going to give the band to the left. So we're gonna do a little bit of a side, little diagonal sling connection here. So I have the band in my left hand, but it's on my right foot, and I'm just holding and breathing. In studio, I really like you to take your left foot inside of the well and kind of imprint down, and that helps to stretch through the quadriceps on the left side as well. It's not quite as effective when we're on the same level rather than the foot being lower, but we can still find that connection. And let's go ahead and switch the band into the right hand. Send the right foot outbound. I'm gonna return my left leg long. Send the right foot outbound. Take a nice deep breath here, stretching through the hip. And we're gonna take both feet into the band, both feet into the band. Band goes up towards the sky. Just gonna take a nice deep breath here. You can do some fascial flossing if that's familiar to you. The height of our feet doesn't change, our pelvis doesn't change. We're just gonna soften the knees a little bit and extend. Let's keep the left foot in the band. Right foot comes down to the mat. Right hand has the band with the left foot. And we're just really taking a nice deep breath here. Right foot melts into the floor with intention. Low back is long. And let's take the band into the left hand. I'm gonna extend the right leg as the left leg opens to the side. Stretching through the hip, nice deep breath here. And go ahead and remove that red band or your scarf. You did it, guys, amazing work. I will see you around very soon.